Welcome back to Second Breakfast and our ongoing horror discussions, bringing you the best thoughts, theories, and a literary analysis this side of Larkin, Texas.
In this episode, we're looking at a fantastic indie horror movie that combines the found footage and faux documentary subgenres to create a delightfully twisty puzzle box of dread. Let's get into it.
All right, so we had a fantastic experience last night. We got to see, we love indie horror. I mean, that's what the channel is, just evangelizing fantastic indie horror.
It's true.
So we got to see this film, Man Finds Tape, at the Alamo Drafthouse, which we love so much. The South Lamar, which is the mothership location.
That's the best location.
And it was a live Q&A, and we thought that was just going to mean, like, writer-director, maybe some sort of crew member, cast member. Usually it's, one person.
Yeah, one or two.
And this was the entire cast and crew.
It was like everybody was there. It was awesome.
It was a parade of people. It was dozens of, it was incredible.
Because at the end, they brought out, it was like the writers and directors.
Yeah.
Who, it's like these two guys. And they were like, hey, there are a lot of other people here who worked on the movie. So if you were on the movie, why don't you stand up or come on up here? And then it was a full line of people.
Genuinely, I think we were some of the only people in the crowd who didn't work on the film.
Or who didn't know people who worked on the film.
It was like friends and family.
But so this is a locally made movie. This is a like Austin production. We live in Austin, if you didn't know. This is an Austin, Texas production. And this is why I don't really like living in Austin for a lot of reasons. We're here because we are, and it's not my favorite city.
It's because you're from Austin. I think you just grow, familiarity breeds contempt.
And it's hot here, and there are things, it doesn't matter. But every now and then I'm like, I'm so glad I live in Austin. And it's moments like this that I feel like
right.
that.
So beyond the experience we had, beyond it being kind of local kid makes good, the movie is fantastic.
It's so good.
We had a fantastic, I don't want to keep using that word. We had a great time with this film. And we're not going to spoil anything.
No,
because
we
want to, you gotta
go see this movie.
Go rent this, gather some friends, order some pizza. You will have a hell of an evening. It's available, I believe, on VOD right now.
It is,
so you
yes.
can go rent it. But we're not going to spoil anything, but I want to introduce the film a little bit before we get to some thoughts and theories, because it's got such a dynamite premise. So it starts with this guy who has gone kind of YouTube viral. And he's filming this kind of first instance, this inciting incident that starts his channel and leads him to this success and fame. And it's him going to turn off the breaker in his house.
In his parents' house.
And it's all dark. And he opens the little door and he flips the thing. And then out of the corner of his eye, he sees his name printed on this little tape, this old like mini DV kind of cassette recorder, old camcorder tape. And he watches it. And it's this weird, like hooded, masked, unknown figure watching him sleep as a child. So that we spiral into all of these mysteries with the tapes and investigations and him going viral and people going nuts at him and how kooky the internet gets and his sister kind of being roped in as part of this investigation. He thinks he finds out who the guy in the video is and he points at that guy and starts investigating this kind of freaky church pastor, and it spirals through mysteries and reveals and incredible creature design and special effects on this scrappy, unbelievably creative indie film. It was just a roller coaster. We had the best time with it.
My favorite thing about this was that when we went, we had absolutely no idea what this movie was. We knew that it was a small production, and we knew there was a Q&A, and we knew it was a horror movie. And that's literally all we knew. And that, I think, was such a fun way to go in. I mean, at this point, you've already told you more than we knew going in. So I guess that's kind of ruined for you.
We knew the title and the runtime. That's it.
But like, I didn't know. I was like, is this going to be a creature feature? Is it a serial killer thing? Is it found footage? Like, I had no idea what this was. And so that was so exciting for me because it was just, this is going to be a horror movie. And I'm excited to see what happens. And I really enjoyed this experience. Like, it, again, we won't spoil anything, but it just, I thought it was all so well done because my favorite thing about it was the puzzle element. It was this really complex mystery story. And I think all movies have an element of mystery and puzzliness to them because you're trying to figure out what's going on. But it was such a mystery, and it was so fun to watch it unfold and to watch things escalate and get weirder and weirder. And it was really exciting and stimulating for the brain to watch it all happen. It was really great.
In the intro, you talked about the found footage and faux documentary elements. I want to talk about some touchstones within that genre as kind of, if you love this, you'll love that, because I think there are comparison titles that might be your doorway into really loving this film. And through that found footage lens, were there any that immediately jumped out to you?
Sinister came to mind really fast because the first time you see that tape that he finds, the way it's shot and the way that I felt watching it reminded me of Sinister. The movie becomes something else and it doesn't feel like Sinister by the end. And that's not a value judgment. It's a different thing. But I was reminded of Sinister. And then it so happens that C. Robert Cargill, who co-wrote Sinister, right? And The Black Phone, or he was on The Black Phone. Anyway, he produced on this movie. So that was interesting.
He's another Austin local.
Okay. I was like, why is he on this movie? Now it makes sense. So that was funny. But I didn't know that going in. So I thought about Sinister. That was the biggest one for me. What kind of things were you thinking about?
Well, I think, pun not intended, but the sinister nature of the actual tapes. How insidious... I didn't mean that one either. All these good words have been used as horror titles. Weird. And every negative word is a horror title.
And then The Conjuring of this thing.
Malevolent, I was going to use in that one too. The
horror
pure,
is so funny.
The pure evil that great found footage sequences can evoke, where things feel so off and icky, and I'm running
sinister,
out of words.
Yeah.
Reminded me a bit of the Poughkeepsie Tapes.
I thought about that too. Yes, I thought that was the other one. I knew there was another one. There was Poughkeepsie Tapes. There was Sinister.
We've done episodes on both of those, by the way.
Yes, really, really fun. Yeah, and so it felt uneasy and weird. I even felt a little bit like Hell House.
Totally.
Not necessarily in the footage. More on like Lucas, our main character, his footage, but it was also one of our like big players in this movie reminded me of a key player in Hell House. I don't want to say too much, but I think you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yes, and I think the Hell House comparison, Hell House LLC, by the way, we did 4 episodes about that, and then we were lucky enough to be able to talk to writer, director, and creator Stephen Cognetti earlier this year.
So much fun.
Unbelievable. Yeah. We adore that franchise. But this reminded me of my favorite parts of the Hell House sequels. And I think it's tapping into the faux documentary aspect, because the second movie has a news crew and kind of photojournalist as part of the troupe running through this nightmare. And the third one has a documentary crew following this production within a haunted house.
Right.
And I even thought there were parts of the 4th Hell House movie, Carmichael Manor, because that one did a beautiful job of reckoning with the found footage format in the modern context.
Yes.
There's a part, basically after the stinger, the opening of this movie is a Zoom call. Mm-hmm. And I was reminded of the way Cognetti works within the Zoom kind of framework or setup for a found footage scare in the 4th Hell House. And I really admired how modern this film felt, because I think the genre is usually kind of locked in amber around 1990.
Right.
With VHS level technology.
Because technology is hard to work with, in terms of in story, And so I think people just kind of understandably let's just go back in time. We don't have to worry about digital things.
Because found footage is usually scarier and more absorbing and eerie when it is shitty quality.
Grainy,
and I think this film did a beautiful job of updating that for the modern era by relying on security camera footage.
Yes, which is still very grainy.
Or black and white, or just...
But there is also occasional really nice vlog-style cameras being used
or
too.
Interview sections.
Uh-huh.
And it called to mind a lot of my favorites from within the found footage subgenre that we have really taken a liking to in recent times.
Yeah, you're right. And even the way they did text was really interesting. You didn't see interfaces on a phone. You just saw it was just a black screen with text coming up,
captions,
just coming up, but you could tell it's a text thread. But I liked that too. They made it feel modern without making it feel annoying or specific to a certain time. We never saw TikTok, but we did see screenshots of Reddit comments,
right.
It felt up to date, but not in an annoying or distracting way.
And in the Q&A after the film, they were talking about how, they had a lot of the special effects people on stage, and without spoiling particulars, they were talking about how practical almost everything was, and even working with puppets and prosthetics, and it looks really good
it does,
in the movie. And that's never make or break for me. It's just kind of an extra bonus, I guess, if it looks great. I'm totally willing to go with an indie horror movie if they can't afford special effects. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, sure.
If I understand what's supposed to be happening, that's fine. That's totally good enough. But these happen to also look great. But the thing I love about indie horror, and particularly movies like Hell House, is that the scariest ideas, the most elemental, life-altering, terrifying moments of Hell House are on the page. They're completely conceptual scares. They're not reliant on a special effects budget. Those are the ones that really get under my skin and stick with me.
Like a clown just moving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. No budget, high concept, low budget.
Yeah, it just requires moving the camera a certain way. It's nothing to do with special effects.
And this movie reminded me of another one of those high concept, low budget elements. I'm thinking of Parker Finn's Smile, which is a movie that didn't work terribly well for us. We still have to watch the sequel, but
I know, yeah, because everyone loved it. Yeah.
I thought the basic idea of the head tilt and the crazy smile, that was so good, and that was so eerie. I felt like that was something that became iconic in a way that the clowns from Hell House kind of became iconic.
Yeah.
And that was an idea that is cheap and creative. It's freaky because it's a good idea. It's this signature simple movement that actors can do that can speak to some sort of possession or haunting. It's incredibly efficient storytelling while being kind of admirably scrappy and memorable. And this film, I don't want to say what it is, but there is
what you're talking about.
Signature physical movement of a body part that happens to people when they're being overtaken by the bad spirit. And it is so effectively eerie
unsettling.
It doesn't matter how many times it happens during the film, you kind of lean in every time you see it, and you're looking for all these kind of I Spy details. Like the first time you see Paranormal Activity,
right?
And you're looking at every corner and shadow.
Mm-hmm.
This was that investing and immersive.
Right.
I adored how smart the movie was.
And it was like recognizable too, like because it's the kind of movement that you wouldn't normally do in real life, like unless something weird happened. And so when you see it happen to one or multiple people, it's sort of like a, oh shit, what's going to happen? Like it is just, it's jarring and it's scary, and it's memorable and iconic. Yeah, I really admired that choice. Again, I don't want to say what it is, but if you see it, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
And my kind of final thought here is I was thinking of Hell House when I was watching it, because you can see all the seeds are being planted during that first story, where yes, it could be a standalone. It is kind of self-sufficient in that way. But there's a larger world that you obviously are taken to, that you want to explore further. And there was a moment, because they do the check drop at Alamo Drafthouse. They run through and drop everyone's check. And that's kind of your sign of, okay, there's not that much left in the movie.
Maybe like 30, 40 minutes left, yeah.
And we were getting to the point that I thought was going to be the big blowout finale that would leave it open if we wanted to come back. And the movie's not, it's like it's right around 80 minutes, which is perfect for horror. I think under 90 is ideal. And even within that short runtime, it went past what I expected to be the climax, and kind of had a couple compounding crescendo climaxes and wrapping things up and twisting and evolving things, where it's not like it felt overlong. It just felt remarkably complete, where I don't think we need to come back here.
No.
Because they totally nailed and resolved this story.
Yes.
It was I mean, again, we always go back to the most remarkable part of any movie like this is the script. And the script was rock solid here.
Yeah.
I had a great time with this.
And the other thing that I think, one more thing I want to mention that stuck out to me was the setting. And it's this small town in Texas. So, we said earlier, I grew up in Austin, not in a small town. Austin's a big city, but I've driven through this entire state on various occasions, and I've seen and been to and driven through these tiny forgotten towns, and you can tell these things are shot on location, and they captured that feeling of weird small Texas town full of weird freaky people, but everyone's connected and everyone's trying to leave but they can't, and it's hot and there's nothing, it's just flat and nothing, and the shitty old roads. Like, it captured all of that really well. You can tell the people making it understood the place that they were trying to tell a story in, and I really liked that too.
In the same way I thought it authentically captured an adult brother-sister relationship, in the same way I thought it authentically captured internet culture with the comments that they show of how kind of shitty and funny people are
Yep.
to this situation that's increasingly dire.
Yes.
Yeah, it rang true. It was impressively modern. It was remarkably scrappy.
Which made all of the horror feel all the more possible.
It was
which is
genuinely unsettling.
Yeah. It was an excellent movie.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we got to see it in the theater and got to hear from so much of the creative team. And I also I hope that y'all check it out. It's
Please do.
Video on
Yeah.
demand. Please go check it out. Man Finds Tape. It was an excellent work of indie horror. And like at the very end, you know, the moderator was like, "Hey, what can people do to support the movie?" And they said, "Tell your friends." And we said, "Absolutely, you got it." So here
Yes,
we
sir.
are recording an episode about it the next day, because we want to tell you, our friends, all about this. So please go check it out. Speaking of checking things out and supporting indie work, check out Cam's latest book, Lemon Tarts in Space. It's a light sci-fi dark comedy. It is Alien meets Monty Python, Friday the 13th meets Flubber. It is a really joyful and heartwarming, but also heart-wrenching experience of a book. You can read it as a regular novel or check out the fully produced audio drama. The links for that are in the description of this episode.
Another indie production from Texas.
That is very, very true. Please go check it out. Also, check out our Patreon if you want to support us even more. That is our favorite place to be. It's $2 a month. We release 2 new bonus episodes every single month. Plus, if you join, you can, of course, access the whole back catalog of previously released bonus episodes. We talk about lots of horror over there, but also a lot of other things like games and comics and books and all sorts of things. Maybe most pertinent to you are some of our Breakfast Buffet episodes where we talk about a collection of things together.
Did that female body horror
That's
episode.
exactly what I was going to mention. But outside of our Patreon, we've also talked about other found footage horror and indie horror over here on the show.
We did a found footage month a couple years ago with Cloverfield and
Lake Mungo,
Blair Witch. And then we've kind of done more to fill in the gaps since then.
Yeah.
We've done, I mean, the
And
amount of
Hell
indie
House.
horror we've done this year.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So please go. We appreciate y'all's support. Thank you very much for listening and for joining us for our Advent calendar 2025, where we're releasing one episode every weekday starting December 1st and ending December 24th. So if you're wondering why we've been putting out so many episodes, that's why. Thank you very much for listening, and please like, subscribe, and all of that. And we'll catch you here. We'll check you out, I guess. We'll catch you here.
Smell you later.
All right. We'll see you soon with another brand new episode.